Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for coming today. Isn't this fun? I'm going to have a little bit more lighthearted talk than Dr. Tenpenny, so hopefully we'll get you laughing. Maybe we'll get you crying a bit. But thank you so much for joining me. So who of you has heard of me before and kind of know what I'm doing? Okay, wow. People know me. That's kind of fun. So with that, if you don't know, I'm a pretty competitive person. So when someone tells me I can't do something, I set out to prove them wrong, right? How many of you have had someone tell you you maybe are unqualified for a position, or maybe someone tells you that you won't be able to lose that weight, or you won't be able to do something, right? Well, when I was in college, a few months before I was going to be married, I was in that same position, where I was at a doctor's office because I hadn't had a period in like 8 months. Right? And you're kind of wondering what the heck is going on. There was no way I was pregnant. And when I left the doctor's office that day, I received the diagnosis of having polycystic ovarian syndrome. Very, very common problem among women today, unfortunately. And because of my anovulatory cycles and things like that, the doctor told me that it would probably be very difficult, if not impossible, for me to conceive. I didn't like that, and a few months before married, I had to talk to my husband, well, do you still want to marry me? Because I'm kind of broken, right? So I went out on a mission to learn everything I could about hormones and infertility, and that is my specialty at the Wellness Way. We all talk about all the different things, but when it comes to women's hormones, I go crazy over learning everything there is about it. And I'm happy to say that I proved that doctor wrong, and I'm now expecting baby number 3. Thank you. Thank you. And so I believe that you as a woman are not broken. If you want to conceive, gosh darn it, God created you with uterus and ovaries for a reason, right? And so it doesn't matter if you have endometriosis, if you have polycystic ovarian syndrome, if you have any of these different things. I'm here to empower you, to let you know if you want to become a mother, that's something that can happen for you. And so I just have a totally different perspective on that. And so I'm passionate about showing you guys this. But how many of you are a mom out there? Lots of you, awesome. How many of you would like to become a mom someday? Okay, awesome. And how many of you had a mom? Right? Obviously, that's all of us. So moms impact our life in a dynamic way. And it's so funny because we have all different types of moms, right? And there's like this mom war going on, right? Where like some mom thinks that they're superior to others. And this can be very difficult when someone who's trying to conceive is having a hard time, right? So we have that first type of mom, the mom that seems to have the picket fence, right? So when she's trying to conceive, it's super easy for her. I am like the definition of fertile. I have never been healthier in my life. Literally, all I have to do is look at my husband, and I'm pregnant. See? Right? And for those of you that have struggled, you hate her. You're just like, really? Do you even want another kid? And she's on number 6, 7, 8, right? With no difficulties whatsoever. And then there's a second type of mom. I feel awful. Wait. I wasn't drinking last night. Oh, shoot. I blame the tequila. Right? That type of mom that just happened to become pregnant accidentally, and she's like, oh my goodness, wasn't even trying, maybe has a poor lifestyle. And the mom that's trying to have a baby, she hates her too, right? Because she wants something so badly, and someone that doesn't deserve it. You start to have these, self-pity parties, right? And I had friends that were getting pregnant on accident, and I was like, oh, come on. Like, I actually want a baby, and you're out there having, getting wasted one night and coming home with a baby? Is that the trick, right? And then there's that third mom. Month 28, just another negative. And those are the moms that land in my office. They try month after month after month, and they get negative after negative after negative. Maybe they've tried Clomid, maybe they've tried IUI, maybe they've had failed attempts at IVF for so long. And every single month they hold on to that hope that maybe this is the month. And then that period comes and they're devastated. You don't know what kind of mom you're talking to when you're out in public, right? It could be any of those three moms. So we need to support each other. And then there's the pregnancy and how that they respond to that.
Even at 13 weeks pregnant, I understand the importance of staying healthy. So that's why every morning at 5 a.m., I wake up to teach PIO at our local gym. Combination of Pilates and yoga, excellent for first trimester. Then I come home and I have all my supplements lined up for me that the best doctors at the Wellness Way have recommended that I take. We've got some vitamin D, some active or iodine complex, active B12 folate, and some desiccated liver, because I'm a little bit anemic. But I know these things because those doctors at the Wellness Way know what they're doing, especially Nicole. When I come home from my workout, I have my handsome hubby waiting for me with this delicious bone broth protein shake. This baby is going to get all the nutrients that they need.
Right? The mom that's just like over the top. Everything's organic. Everything is perfect, right? And you're like, oh, brother, just go out and have a ho-ho, right? Right? We're all there. And then the second mom that's unexpecting this pregnancy, maybe she does have that sort of mentality.
I mean, what other time did I gain weight on purpose? You can judge me all you want. Unless you have a cigarette, you can go now.
There was a girl in nursing school that was out to hear pregnant. Okay, nursing school, we're supposed to be healthy people, right? That would come into class every morning with a giant bubba of Mountain Dew and would be smoking her cigarettes in between class. And I'm like, what are you doing? You know, every piece of me is like dying inside. And we judge them, right? But this is their life. And you guys, we are so quick to judge one another. And so we need to be more accepting of people, educate them. I'm not promoting Oreos every day. That's not what I'm saying. But, you know, it's just different. And then there's mom number 3.
After trying for 3 years, I finally found some doctors that would listen to me at the Wellness Way. And now I'm expecting my miracle child. I am so thrilled, and nothing can go wrong. I'm taking great care of myself. I mean, there can't be... Sneezing during pregnancy. Is this okay?
Okay, the neurotic mom. We've all been there. No matter, you know, if you've been struggling forever, they're especially protective of that child, right? And then, but all of us, you know, once you become a mom, you become a bit neurotic, right? You are caring for that precious thing inside of you. And so then we go on to the postpartum period. This kind of evens the playing field a little bit. Finally, you have all those moms come together, and what does their life look like? Right? In the postpartum period, it doesn't matter how you got there. It doesn't matter how you took care of yourself during pregnancy. At the end, it's tough. You're sleep deprived. You've got milk stains all over everywhere, right? And you're trying to just get through the day, and you're just going crazy. No one ever tells you how tough postpartum can be. They just see these beautiful pictures with their precious baby, and all of a sudden they're like, they think that it's just some magical bliss, right? But I'm telling you, it's tough. It's really hard. And so we need to be there to support each other, right? There's so many faces of moms. There's the breastfeeding, there's the formula, there's the pumping, there's the working mom, there's a stay-at-home mom, right? But we all have that same job to care the best that we know how for those babies. And so I don't know if you guys have ever seen this commercial, but it is just so powerful on how we can band together that I want to just give you a few minutes to watch.
police have arrived.
100% breastfed, straight from the source.
Drug-free pull birth. Dolphin assisted.
Well, you push. We cuddle.
Yeah, cuddling is bonding.
Helicopter mom, 12 o'clock.
Must be mommy's day off.
Oh, that's sexist. What? You wanna go or something? No.
Oh, disposable diaper. Well, apparently we don't care about the environment.
Oh, look, it's crunchy granola mom.
It's getting real.
I wonder what it's like being a part-time mom.
Ooh. Stay-at-home moms.
I wonder what they do all day. Mani-pedis.
Looks like some moms are too lazy to breastfeed.
Someone came with their nipples blazing.
Oh, yeah? Well, I puff during conference calls.
Hello.
Yeah.
It's not all about the breasts.
Actually, yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
No.
It's about the breast.
It's about
But it's
the
not.
You want a piece of this? Oh, you want a piece of this? Well, I'll show you some screen-free parenting.
Bring it.
Nibble up, ladies. It's go time, I think. Yeah, go.
I'll be back.
Let's do this! Oh, wait, you guys. Gosh.
Gosh, I must be pregnant because now I've got tears in my eyes. But isn't that just so amazing? You know, we all come together under this umbrella of motherhood, and it doesn't matter how you do it. We're all doing the best that we can for what we have to work with, right? There are some that are working moms, there's the stay-at-home moms, there's the yogi moms, there's the stay-at-home dads, right? And it's just being able to come together and say, listen, I understand your struggles. Raising a newborn is not easier from one person or another. It's tough, right? And just learning that we should just band together with one another and support one another. And so I want to give you just a few tips for those of you that maybe are pregnant or planning on being pregnant or know someone who's pregnant on how to make that transition into motherhood a bit easier, and as well as how you can support those moms that are doing that, okay? So first of all, get adjusted. That's Dr. Patrick Flynn over there, the founder of the Wellness Way. And that includes the baby, right? So chiropractic adjustments are so important. You heard Dr. Tenpenny talk about that a little bit. I'm actually a part of a natural birthing group on Facebook. And there's been time and time again where moms are in labor and they stall out at like 8-9 centimeters. Their chiropractor comes, gives them a quick adjustment, and within a few minutes, the baby's there, right? It's powerful to be able to open up that pelvis, to be able to be supported. And chiropractic was the only way that I made it through the pregnancy with my son. When I was a waitress and holding heavy trays and I had terrible sciatic pain, it was the only thing that took that away. And think about birth, you guys, it's a traumatic experience, right? Whether it's a cesarean section or a vaginal birth, for both the mom and the baby, that's traumatic. You know, they're going through this like beautiful little bubble of, swimming in there, amniotic fluid, to then having to come through a pelvic cavity and out. I mean, they're all sort of mangled and, it's tough, right? So to be able to give them that adjustment, it's gonna put them eons ahead of the other babies. And so getting adjusted, both mom and the baby, is so important to be able to, I can testify. My son had chronic ear infections. We took him into a chiropractor, never had one since. So the chiropractic is really, really important. Tip number 2, support your hormones. You guys, when you are pregnant, of course, you're hormonal, right? But look at this chart. So you start out with week 0, and they're kind of, at their lowest level. And going throughout all of the months, you're going to continue to rise and rise and rise and rise and rise. And then on month 9, there's some magic happens where all your hormones drop. And that's what signals your body to go into labor. So if you haven't been supporting your hormones this whole time, it's no wonder that 80% of women suffer from baby blues and 1 in 9 go into postpartum depression. Because all of a sudden this giant influx of hormones that you had is now gone, and we haven't supported the mom throughout that sort of transition period. And so now, we have baby blues, we have postpartum depression, we have people with bleeding that won't stop. There's a lot of different things that implications for that. So with supporting your hormones, one of my favorite ones to give to someone postpartum is maca powder. Maca is an adaptogen. And Chris, if you want to come up, I have a whole bunch of giveaways as I'm explaining to you these different supplements and nutrition. And so if this sounds like you, raise your hand and we want to get this in the right hands. So I'm looking for someone who's pregnant that's about to deliver, okay, back there, that needs some maca. Put that in a smoothie. It's going to be a great adaptogen for those hormones as they're starting to crash. Okay? Then, like our t-shirt said, feed me chocolate and tell me I'm pretty. Chocolate is so important. You guys, chocolate is the #1 serotonin-based food on the planet. Good organic cacao. So whenever you feel like in your belly, you just feel like really depressed, that's because a lot of those neurotransmitters are made in that belly. Okay, so you need to give yourself some good chocolate that's going to boost up that serotonin and help to combat depression and any sort of anxiety that you might have. It's an amazing superfood. You can melt down this cacao butter and add it with this cacao powder with some coconut oil. Just melt it all down, put it in a baking sheet, throw it in the fridge, and you've got chocolate. It's really, really delicious. And so you can put this in smoothies. Also for women who are suffering from vaginal dryness, actually cacao butter works fantastic to help boost that estrogen level. And so you can apply that vaginally, and that'll help to increase your dryness and things like that. So anyone that thinks they could benefit from chocolate, that's our next one. Hands in the air, give them away. Awesome. Anyone out there particularly anemic? I've always struggled with anemia. You down here? All right, here's some spirulina. It tastes like grass, but it's fantastic. It has more iron than, right in front, it has more iron than a steak does. It's a great thing to put in your smoothie. Recent research has shown out, I just got back from the American Society of Reproductive Medicine conference, and one of the #1 things you can do to combat postpartum depression, omega-3 fish oils. It's shown time and time again, and so that's a really great thing to use postpartum. Goodness, I've got lots of things to give away. All right. Relax. You don't need to be pregnant, but it's important to make sure that you're pooping after you have that kid, right? And that's like the scariest thing after you just shove a baby down there and you're like, crap, now I gotta poop, right? And so this is gonna be really helpful for somebody doing that with Relax as well. Coconut oil, of course, what can't you use coconut oil for? One tip that I have for coconut oil is that if you're breastfeeding, it's a great alternative to lanolin for those cracked nipples and things like that if you put it on after that. So coconut oil is just a fantastic thing to be using to support your body. Vitamin D. If you're not on a good quality vitamin D, all right, I'm gonna see if I can throw it. Okay, ready? All right. I'm in the wrong profession. I'm just kidding. Vitamin D, take one of those in the morning and one in the evening. Anyone that suffers from fibroids, actually this just in, going to be published next week. Vitamin D has been shown to help reduce those fibroids. Fibroids are driven by hormones. So you've got an overabundance of hormones. You got to get those tested. And actually we have some test kits here from Precision Analytical. It's my absolute favorite hormone test. If you have an overabundance of hormones, we can get those things balanced. You shouldn't have a life with fibroids. You shouldn't have a life with cysts. So we got to figure out where you're at. Good protein source as well. Bone broth protein. Oh goodness, everyone wants this one, right? We got 2 different flavors. Really fantastic for, okay, I'm just gonna throw it over here, see who gets it. All right. And then 2 more things, or actually 3 more things. I've got some hemp hearts here. This is an excellent source of protein. You can sprinkle it on your salads. You can put it in your smoothies. You can put it on anything. I'll wait for Krista to get back. Packed full of protein. Make sure you're getting plenty of protein throughout this period as well. Silver spray, awesome. Everyone's like, please! If you don't know anything about silver, it is nature's antibiotic, antiviral. If you've got cuts and wounds, you can spray it on there. It does a fantastic job of boosting that up. And then last but not least, God's gift to women, California poppy. This stuff is amazing. If you haven't ever used this helps to relieve your anxiety, your stress. If you are speaking in front of tons of people, you can take a shot of it to calm you down, right? This is really, really important postpartum period, but for anyone really is fantastic. So, thank you so much. So those are some really great tips that you can take with you on different supplements and things you can take to help support your hormones. All right, nutrition is key, including your food allergies, okay? We promote a gluten-free, dairy-free diet, but in order to figure out what is the best nutrition for you, we recommend you get your food allergies tested. A lot of people, when they are breastfeeding, their babies all of a sudden have eczema or gas problems and different things like that, and it's because of mom is eating things that are causing an allergic reaction in the baby. So by getting your food allergies tested, we can see what those things are. For me, I was allergic to kale. What? I mean, that's supposed to be one of the healthiest foods on the planet. And I was 75 pounds heavier than I am right now. And I was eating healthy and exercising, and I couldn't lose the weight. I found out what I was allergic to the first week I lost 10 pounds. I was carrying around an excessive amount of inflammation. So make sure you're getting good nutrition. Tip 4, freeze meals prior to birth or bring these frozen meals to a new mom. This is fantastic. You guys, if you go on Pinterest and find some frozen meals, we freeze those ahead of time or bring a hot meal to a mom. It makes it so much easier to be able just to throw it in the crock pot or throw it in the oven and make your life a lot easier. Okay, and then tip number 5, know that you're not alone. And I kind of want to end on a serious note. And this is a story from a gal that was in my small group at church, okay? And I had no idea this was going on. And about a week ago, she posted this on Facebook. And I asked her permission to share it, and she agreed that she wanted you all to hear it so that you know how big of a deal this is. So with that, just remember, up to 80% of moms have the baby blues, and 1 in 9 suffer from postpartum depression. So this is from a dear friend and a new mom, and she says, grab a cup of coffee with me and let me share my tearful heart with you. I want to share just how Satan turned my world upside down after I had my daughter. Most of you might know this or may not, but I had a planned C-section. And let me be the first to say, you can prepare yourself mentally over and over, but it was nothing like I thought it would be. I won't go into many details of it, but I felt them cutting me, and my husband wasn't brought into the room like they said they would. So when he got in the room, I already had tears in my eyes and saying, please just have them put me to sleep. Maybe many of you would have gotten over this traumatic moment, but I struggled with it. I think I struggled with it because Satan was so fast to point out that it was my fault when it wasn't. That's when the postpartum hit. I want to share the darkest moment that postpartum brought into my life. It was like I hit rock bottom all over. It was a normal day to my thinking of that, but I had Jordan take the kids to church, and I was going to have some me time. Little did he know that the devil was whispering lies to me, and those lies got louder and louder until he handed me the gun and said, no one sees your broken heart. No one sees the pain. And most of all, your God doesn't hear you. I remember having such a lifeless feeling as I held that gun in my hands and thinking over and over the pain and the brokenness that I felt. Satan sat with a grin on his face waiting for me to shatter my life away, but I heard that whisper saying, I hear you and I love you. Choose me and not the darkness. I remember bursting into tears and just crying out to God, asking for his forgiveness, and God always wrapped me up in his word. I didn't let Satan win that day or any other day. God showed me that he was carrying me through this dark time. I shared that painful and heartbreaking moment with Jordan, her husband. I saw hurt and tears in him when I told him what I was going to do, and I told him that God did it again. He saved me from my darkest moment. I didn't blame myself for my brokenness or the pain. I hid it. I hid my pain and my brokenness and slapped on a smile and chose words like, I'm fine, and I'm okay, but inside I was crying and I was dying. The devil had me at the weakest, but Jesus rescued me. And ever since that happened, God's been teaching me so much about how I need to just let others know that I belong to you by the way that we love. So love on the people that are battling with depression, anxiety, PTSD, anger, and so on. You never know who they are. I had met with her every other Sunday in a small group and held her baby for her when she was crying and helped her, just get a break on Sunday nights. And yet she never shared how she was feeling with us. And I never knew. You just think everything is fine, and she would tell you everything is fine, but that's the point. We don't know. If someone has another baby, you don't know where they're at. You don't know if they could be battling this inner battle. And some people aren't so lucky. They actually pull that trigger. And so I just want this to be a moment forward where we all agree that every mom is valuable no matter what kind of mom she is. That we all agree that we'll reach out to those moms that are new parents. And even if it seems like everything's okay, just give her that extra hand, that extra support. We don't need to be at each other's throats all the time and super competitive on who's the best mom, and oh my goodness, I can't believe you let your kid have that Halloween candy, and oh my goodness, you vaccinate or you don't, right? We're moms and we're doing the best that we can. So how about we just end on this? Let's stand up, and I want you to link arms with the person next to you, and I want you to make me a promise from this moment forward and say, all together, ready? This is gonna be powerful. I promise to join the sisterhood of motherhood and empower each other, lift each other up, not judge, and be the best darn mom I can be. Thank you so much.